one is actually going to be a library update, but we'll do this quick article real quick. So it says, if Bill Belichick was out, Browns coach was UNC's backup option after 2 interviews. So Tommy Rees is in his first year as NFL coach after spending time at Notre Dame and Alabama. So he's the tight ends coach for the Browns, right? And he's trying to get the UNC head coaching job. They're saying he's the Browns passing game specialist, and it's not good optics that he's not focused on the team. But we like that he could steal the spot from Belichick. Now it says that Jeff Lurie of the Eagles, the owner, he's selling 8% of the team. Many believe he'll be using the money to build a new stadium. 8% is interesting for a team that lost in 81 and won in 18. Also rumored the new stadium would have a retractable roof and would host Super Bowls and Final Fours. So here's the library update. Coach picked up some new stuff. We got Bob Knight, My Story. We got On the Devil's Court. So it's about, that one's actually a novel about a basketball player that sells his soul in exchange for skills. Just seemed up our alley. The Chase, How Ohio State Captured the First College Football Playoff Championship. And then Phil Jackson, Lakers coach, of course, Sacred Hoops, Spiritual Lessons of the Hardwood. And then Coach also picked up The Breaks of the Game. That's a New York Times bestseller. It talks about a lot of different injuries, that sort of stuff, but apparently it explains why Bill Walton is unforgettable. And Coach isn't a big Bill Walton fan, so he figured that would give him a little bit of insight there. The Presidents in the Pastime, the history of baseball in the White House. That's been near the top of the list for a while. It's just a little bit more points, so it's tough to break down and do it, but we had to the point exactly enough to pull off these four. Coach actually wanted to get 1967's untold story of the Michigan bombing, but that one had to go on the back burner. He also really wanted Total Olympics, every obscure tale worth knowing. So those two we're going to try to get very soon. But we did get some of the ones we really, really wanted. This one we were afraid we weren't going to be able to get because there was only one copy left and we couldn't find it anywhere else, but luckily we were able to get it. Tigers by the River, a true and accurate tale of the early days of pro football. Of course, we want to know as much about the early days as possible. That's the hardest to find information on. And then this bottom one, Coach actually picked up for Trevor. Now, he was trying to look up stuff on, I believe it's the Birmingham City Curse, is that what we're talking about? Football club. Coach is big into playing soccer, and he likes the World Cup, but he doesn't know a lot about like Premier or any of the other cups or leagues really. So we're gonna try to catch up on that. But we did get the club, how the English Premier League became the wildest, richest, most disruptive force in sports. I figured that's probably the league Birmingham plays in, but even if it's not, it's the biggest, most disruptive force in sports, and it's called the club. So that's a must-have. Now we will switch over to what we have on hand. Oh, wait, no, we got two more from before. So this is the really nice Cleveland Browns history book I was telling you about. As you can see, 176 points. That one cost. And then that's the Michigan-Ohio State football rivalry. We picked these up before, but we didn't have the pictures for. All right, so this is everything we have on hand up to this point. On the left, we have general. In the middle, we have football and basketball is the shortest stack. And then we have baseball over here, so we'll start with baseball. So you already know Crazy '08. That's our Curse of the Cubs. Let's let you see the cover. How a cast of cranks, rogues, boneheads, and magnates created the greatest year in baseball history. So we'll get to figure out the last Cubs World Series. We think the curse is a little bit deeper than the last one. We got Hustle, The Myth, Life, and Laws of Pete Rose. We got The Making of Major League, Just a Bit Inside Look at the Classic Comedy. Chicago Cubs, Story of a Curse, Rich Cohen. And of course, we've got the original curse coming as well, about when they threw the World Series in 1918 before the Black Sox did it. Summer of '68, the season that changed baseball in America forever. A lot of racial stuff going on there. 1 second here. Coach is really excited about this one. It's a New York Times bestseller. Terror in the City of Champions, Murder, Baseball, and the Secret Society that shocked Depression-era Detroit. And this is a really nice cover. The book's just really nice for a paperback. And then Outrageous Lies Exposed, How Baseball Happened, The True Story. And then one of Coach's favorites at the bottom here, Baseball, the Movie, the Book. A persuasive argument that the baseball movie matters to baseball, to Hollywood, and even America. All right, so that's our baseball stack. Now let's switch over to basketball real quick. We got a New York Times bestseller, Return of the King, LeBron James, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the greatest comeback in NBA history. Okay, 25th anniversary season on the brink, year with Bob Knight and the Indiana Hoosiers. And we have Kingdom of Fire, Kareem, Wooden, and Walton. I'm sure you can tell it's a really nice book. Turbulent Days of the UCLA Basketball Dynasty. We also have 88-1, the longest winning streak, UCLA, when they lost to Notre Dame. And we also have the breaks of the game coming. And I think we actually have one more. We have Vintage Cavs coming, and Miracle at Richfield 76 by Roger Gordon. So basketball, that stack will catch up as soon as the mail catches up. Okay, so on to football. We got New York Times bestseller, Doug Peterson, head coach of the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, Fearless, How an Underdog Becomes a Champion, with a foreword by Jeffrey Lurie. So we like this one because we think Doug Peterson's going to help our Browns out. Also lets us know a little bit more about that Eagles championship, even though we know a bunch already. The League, How 5 Rivals Created the NFL and Launched a Sports Empire. So that's the NFL version of the club. Terry Pluto's Things I've Learned from Watching the Browns. We've already started reading that one. You know about this one, False Start, how the new Browns were set up to fail. We finished that and did our report already. And then Brownstown 1964, Cleveland Browns the 1964 championship. That's definitely a winner. Oh yeah, this one came without a cover, but it's a great book. The Best Show in Football, the 1946-55 Cleveland Browns. That's Terry Pluto too, I'm almost positive. You already know the Lions finally roar. The Ford family, the Detroit Lions, and the road to redemption in the NFL. We've got Rocketmen, the black quarterbacks who revolutionized pro football. Really nice hardcover too. And then, of course, Coach's already in the midst of reading this one as well. He has 2 copies. 1968, the year that saved Ohio State football. And then this is the general stack. So this one was just for fun. It's like the Back to the Future Sports Almanac. I cannot find Red Sox 2086, and it's driving me crazy. The second I find it, I'm going to read the entire thing because it's very short. We got American Icon, Alan Mulally in the Fight to Save Ford Motor Company. We've read this one. We got to do our report, Weird Moments in Cleveland Sports, Bottlegate, Bedbugs, and Burying the Pennant. Slaughterhouse 90210, Where Great Books Meet Pop Culture. So this takes moments in literature and associates them with big moments in like rock history and television, etc. And then City of Champions, A History of Triumph and Defeat in Detroit. Of course, we have many more books coming, including like the untold hidden history of Cleveland sports, etc. You know, it's a big long list, so we'll keep you updated with when those comes in. Appreciate you watching.